You're watching the SEC on ESPN. Saturday afternoon in Columbia, Missouri, where Mizzou has started the season with momentum. A come-from-behind win against Kansas last week has the Tigers into the top 25 as they welcome the Ragin' Cajuns to town. Week 3 of the college football season features two programs that both won 10 games a year ago. Number 25, the Missouri Tigers, hosting the Louisiana Ragin' Cajuns out of the Sun Belt. We are looking forward to this one on a hot day in the Midwest. Thank you for joining us alongside Rocky Boyman. I'm J.O. Alter. We'll be joined by Tori Petrie down on the sideline in just a moment. You take a look at the start of this season, Rocky, for Mizzou, 2-0 into the top 25. You have to feel good about this strong start. Just trying to keep it going.
They've looked fantastic. I mean, a dominant run game led by two awesome backs, some weapons in the wide receiver room, a solid defense. And Jay, I think they found their quarterback. Bo Pribula last week was awesome. 30 of 39, 334 yards. I thought he had one of the best quarterback performances of anyone in college football last week. He looks to build on that here today.
And we mentioned it is a hot one in Columbia. Let's check in down on the sideline with Tori Petrie.
Guys, it is boiling down here, and if you're tuning in right now, you already know this game was moved up to noon local time because of high heat in the forecast. Officials tell us it's because this turf down here heats up as the game goes on. Case in point, this thermometer's topping out around 110 right now, so expect the heat to be a factor in this one. There's shade on the home sideline, not on the visitors' sideline, but Louisiana says that's no problem. Head coach Michael Desimo told us that this game cannot be hot enough for us. Guys,
well,
they're happy about this heat.
Got that. It is hotter than hot here in Columbia. Missouri won the toss deferred, so they're kicking. The Ragin' Cajuns ready to receive. They let it go for a touchback, and we get our first look at this Louisiana offense. They've been working with the redshirt freshman Daniel Beal at quarterback. He's been thrown into the fire with starter Walker Howard ruled out for the season.
Yeah, and this will be an opportunity for Daniel Beal to build on what he did last week. I thought he looked much better than when he had to come in that week 1 game versus Rice toward the end. Thing coach told us is he handles the run game very well. It gets him in and out of the checks, into the right plays. The run game is going to be prime for them to get going here today.
It's Zylan Perry who starts in the backfield on the left hip of Beal. Beal throwing on first down. That is caught by the big tight end, Cade Jensen. Louisiana comes in with confidence. Even though they're playing a top 25 team in the SEC, they were undefeated on the road last season, one of just 6 teams to go unbeaten away from home. Look at the company: Oregon, Penn State, Texas, Army, Notre Dame. Second and 5. They go to the ground, stuffed immediately. Louisiana wants to try and establish the run. That's going to be easier said than done, going against this SEC front. Damon Wilson, Zion Young combining on that stop.
Yeah, you mentioned their run game, Jay. They got a 3-headed monster at running back. They want to shorten this game up a little bit and keep Missouri's powerful offense on the sideline.
Might be forced to throw here on a 3rd and 5. First test of the day for Beal and the Ragin' Cajuns offense. Pressure comes. Beal throws. That's incomplete. The pressure got to him. The Tigers head coach Eli Drinkwitz told us, we're going to put this quarterback under pressure, want to get after him, press the issue. They did that on that 3rd down.
Yeah, Missouri has guys that can play man-to-man. You see it right there. So you lock them up on the outside, you bring pressure with 5, just a linebacker in addition to that, and let your front get after people. Good job confusing and harassing the young quarterback.
So a 3 and out forced by this Mizzou defense. The Tigers with so much momentum to start this season. Obviously had a fantastic season a year ago, winning 10 games. You lose a lot of talent from that roster. You put in a new quarterback, and Bo Perbula won this job with Sam Horn going down. Season-ending surgery earlier this week to repair a fractured tibia. You feel for Horn, but Mizzou fans feel like Perbula's more than comfortable with the starting job.
I think he's the real deal. Arm talent, touch, accuracy. He can obviously run the football.
Perbula, play action, tosses it to Kevin Coleman Jr., who had a monster game in that win against Kansas a week ago. 126 yards and a touchdown. That goes for 4 on the opening play of the Tigers' drive.
There's a real calm to Bo Perbula that I saw last week, and you can already see today. He just doesn't look like the moment's too big for him. He's relaxing and handing it off.
And off to Hardy. Louisiana knows Hardy very well. He's a transfer from Louisiana Monroe, the Raging Cajuns' rival, and as a true freshman last year for ULM, rushed for over 1,300 yards. 172 of those came against the Raging Cajuns.
How I would describe Ahmad Hardy, Jay, is he runs angry, right? He yards after contact, the legs keep churning. You're not bringing him down with one guy.
Originally from Mississippi, totally under-recruited, and he runs like he's letting people know. 2 big runs to ignite this drive for Hardy. That one goes for 8.
Yeah, they got a two-headed monster themselves at running back. Ahmad Hardy. We'll see Jamal Roberts, who had a fantastic game last week.
Both coaching staffs told us this game is about establishing the line of scrimmage, and Missouri has done that on both sides of the ball in the opening 3 minutes of this game. Right back to Hardy. Why not? Big hole opens up for him into Louisiana territory. Ahmad Hardy, a gain of 14, and this rushing attack is ready to run.
This is the Mizzou run attack. Wide zone, stretch, stretch, stretch. Let him pick a hole. Boom, sees the daylight. He puts the right foot in the ground and hits it. It's a real art being a zone runner. You got to have patience, and then as soon as that hole opens up, you hit it just like Hardy did.
3 carries for 22 yards, 32 yards. Play action. Perbula. Look at the dial up, a deep shot. No end zone. Goes for the slide. And that's what Bo Perbula can do, Rocky. When the play's not there, looking to take a shot, he can still pick up some positive yardage with his feet.
Yeah, always great to have a quarterback, and he scans the field. No one open. First progression, second. Okay, boom, take it. Break a tackle. And Coach did tell us he'd like to see a little bit better pocket presence, pocket awareness out of Bo Perbula. If he can hang in there today a little bit longer and find that maybe that 3rd or 4th option in his progression, that'll be important for him.
A true dual threat, and that's tough to prepare for in the week. 2nd and 6. Toss. Plenty of room to run. Kevin Coleman Jr. for another Missouri first down. Gain of 12.
Kevin Coleman has some speed. That was a quick hitter, a little jet sweep. Tossing the ball and let him do the rest. And just like last week, Jay, you're seeing great blocking on the perimeter by these Mizzou wide receivers. You get Jordan Harris out there blocking, Lubade blocking, the freshman. That's the key to some of that perimeter stuff.
Mizzou already knocking on the door of the red zone. An impressive opening drive. This is an offense that comes into this game averaging 577 yards per game.
Missouri, they're first.
Tigers unorganized there ahead of this 1st and 10. We'll take the timeout as well as Missouri trying to cash in on a strong opening drive. Well, through 2 weeks of this season in the opening drive today, Bo Perbula looking the part, Rocky.
And that's the thing. Everyone knew coming here he could do that. He could run the football. They weren't positive he could do this. But he has been great in the pass game. The accuracy, pushing the ball downfield, not forcing things, going through all of his progressions. He's really looked the part so far.
Sometimes we put too much into stats, but through 2 weeks, Pro Football Focus has Purbuella as the #1 quarterback in the country. 93.3 rating. He certainly played like it. Trying to cash in on a strong opening drive by Mizzou. They stick with the ground game. That's Jamal Roberts' first carry. And Ahmad Hardy took 3 carries for 32 yards. Now it's Roberts' turn. Playing with little tempo. Slicing through the Louisiana defense inside the 10. It's another Tigers first down. Back-to-back carries for Roberts.
And this is a stout Louisiana defensive line. I mean, this is one of the more stout defensive lines in all the Sun Belt. And right now, Missouri absolutely having their way with them.
Ninth play of an impressive opening drive for the top 25 Tigers. Can Mizzou punch it in on a 1st and goal? Coleman in motion. Hardy gets the carry, trying to bounce it outside. Sandwiched and taken down, no gain.
Yeah, that's one thing about Hardy. It didn't amount to much there, but he is always about that 2nd and 3rd effort. Jalen Clark, the safety, with a nice tackle there, stringing that thing out.
Brett Norfleet, 2 touchdowns a week ago. He's a red zone threat, the junior tight end at number 87 on the bottom of the line, near side. Pitch. Trying to punch it in on the ground, untouched, into the end zone. Ahmad Hardy, touchdown, Mizzou.
Eli Drinkwitz wanted to set the tone and make a statement early in this game about how great their run game is. We talked about it before the game. And they came out and just absolutely blew people off the ball, getting to the 2nd level, and holes probably you could run through, Jay.
Don't give me that much credit. Hardy makes it look easy behind that SEC offensive line. Yeah. We said it, look, he rushed for more than 1,300 yards at University of Louisiana Monroe, and now running behind an SEC offensive line, it's even better. And he loves his touchdown celebrations. Week 1, he did the giddy up, horseback riding. Today, going fishing in the end zone. Mizzou up 7-0 early.
For Missouri on the kickoff, number 20.
Ahmad Hardy becoming a fan favorite early in his tenure here in Columbia. Week 1, always nice when you score a touchdown in your debut. And then giddy up, horseback riding celebration. And this is why he does it daily in the offseason. That's Jet, one of his horses he's riding. Coco's his mare. This week he's going fishing.
All-American guy, right? Riding horses, going fishing.
And I'll tell you what, the horses is fitting, Rocky, because he runs with the power and force of a Kentucky Derby winner.
No doubt. He's impressive.
So a strong start for Mizzou, and now they've scored 3 straight opening drive touchdowns this season. So 3 games, 3 touchdowns on their opening drives. It's pretty good. And Louisiana finds themselves in a 7-0 hole. The Raging Cajuns, where they were dealt a blow similar to Mizzou losing Sam Horn week 1. They lose Walker Howard, their starting quarterback. And we asked, do you call anything differently? And they go, yeah, because Walker Howard and Daniel Beal are 2 very different quarterbacks.
Yeah, and I'd like to see a little bit more out of Beal this drive. Missouri is going to stop that box. They know that Louisiana wants to run the ball. And when they give you the box where you got to throw the ball, he's got to be efficient.
Bill Davis in the backfield gets the carry, wrapped up immediately Dropped right as he touched it by Josiah Trotter. Keep your eyes on number 40. This guy's a stud at linebacker.
This former linebacker here, Jay, loves watching Josiah Trotter. He's got the lineage, and I mean, he sees an open gap and he hits it. That's a mark of a good linebacker. You don't wait, you don't hesitate, you don't second guess yourself. See the daylight and hit it.
Yeah, football family. Jeremiah Trotter, obviously his dad, Eagles Hall of Famer, his brother. Played at Clemson, now with the Eagles, following in dad's footsteps in a big way. Louisiana sticks with the run, and it's tough sledding. Flag comes into the backfield as well. Trotter in on the stop again.
Really establishing the line of scrimmage, Missouri's defense right now.
Holding. Number 50 on the offense. That penalty is declined. Third down.
Center Cooper Fordham called for the hold.
Yeah, just kind of reached out with the arm there and grabbed Josiah Trotter. That's the thing, Josiah Trotter, he presses that line. Offensive linemen can't stay on those double teams and work up to him. He comes so fast, they got to come off him faster, causes problems.
3rd and 11. Mizzou's got their ears pinned back on Dig.
Man covers are going to bring 5.
Beal taking a deep shot, contested, and it falls incomplete.
Dre Norwood on the coverage there. Pressure forced him to throw the ball early.
So back-to-back 3-and-outs for Louisiana to start this
Number
game.
8 for Louisiana is wearing number 49 in the punt play.
As Nathan Torney gets ready to punt this away for the Raging Cajuns. A team that returns a lot of players from the group that went to the Sun Belt Championship a year ago, won 10 games, but it has been all Missouri so far. And we've got a special treat when we get back. Columbia, Missouri native, Missouri Athletics Hall of Famer Sophie Cunningham joins us when we come back.
There we go, yeah.
What a moment for the Columbia, Missouri native Sophie Cunningham, WNBA star with the Indiana Fever, and she's gone from the field to the booth. Sophie Cunningham, thanks for joining us. How cool was that, making the Hall of Fame in the place you grew up, your Mizzou family, and that was awesome.
It was. You know, it's just so good to be back home. I don't get to come home much just because we're in season all the time, but, you know, to be from Columbia, living 5 minutes away from the university, we grew up coming to these games, and so I'm just happy to, you know, kind of be here and supporting these guys now today.
Now, Sophie, in the WNBA, you're known as the enforcer, but I just learned that you are also Missouri's all-time leading scorer. Do I need to call Stephanie White up? We got to get you the ball more.
That's what I'm saying. Steph, are you listening? Because, no, I'm kidding. No, you know what? It's fun. I'm a little feisty. I'm a little sassy. Sometimes it gets me in trouble. I'm sure you guys have maybe seen the clip that's kind of gone viral a little bit, you know, but it's my roots coming out. But, you know, I'm just proud to be a Mizzou alum, and I'm proud to be home.
So did you grow up going to Mizzou football games like this?
I did. You know, my grandpa, my mom, dad, aunts, uncles, and sister all played sports at the University of Missouri. And so I was born, black and gold is in my blood, and any sports that you can think of, we grew up coming to them.
And so what a moment that is, not just for you, but your family, to be inducted into the Missouri Athletics Hall of Fame last night and to come back and get recognized on the field. It's a full circle moment.
You know what, it is, and you know, Coach Harper right there, she's new to the program, but I played against her for, you know, all the 4 years I was in college here. She was at Missouri State at the time, and she's a great human. She's going to turn this program around and kind of get it back to where it was when I finished playing here, but I really am. I'm just proud to be a Mizzou alum. The people here are just amazing, and I'm just proud to be from here.
Well, you certainly made an impact in the WNBA, and I know you're on the mend a little bit right now.
A little bit.
Give us an update of how that's coming.
Yeah, you know, I tore my MCL 3 weeks ago, had surgery, and so, you know, it is what it is. It's the highs and lows of sports. You guys know that, and, you know, someday in 15, 20 years, I'm going to miss all this, so I'm just trying to embrace every little moment. My character's going to grow. I'm just, you know, trying to embrace the moment of trying to heal up.
So you're out for the season, but your teammates, they're getting ready for a huge game tomorrow, 3 p.m. on ABC, taking on the Dream. Tell us why the Fever are going to make a run even without you and Caitlin Clark.
Yeah, we've had 5 really bad season-ending injuries that, were kind of key pieces to what they were trying to build this year. But you know what? We've had some feisty players that have stepped up. We're fast, we're quick, we move the ball well, and we can all shoot it. And so I'm hopeful for tomorrow. I think Atlanta's a great matchup for us, and I'll be leaving at 4 a.m. here in the morning to kind of catch that game. And so, it'll be good.
I love that. That's great that you're going to be in Atlanta rooting on your teammates. Double header for you. You get the football game today on a plane, go to watch the WNBA playoffs tomorrow.
I do. I'm getting a little bit of VIP treatment, so I'm not mad about it. I'm up here with you guys. You guys have the best seat in the house, and so I might come up here and stay with y'all.
So obviously the WNBA in the last couple of years has grown significantly. You're a big part of that. Just talk about what that's been like for you.
Yeah, I think that we're finally getting that platform. You can kind of view us on any channel now, and I think that's huge. When it's on, people are going to watch, and when they can get to the games, people stay, and they love the WNBA. And so the momentum is big right now, and so I'm just trying to capitalize on it and kind of spread the word.
With your Missouri Tigers working in the red zone right now, 2nd and 5.
If you like run games, Sophie, you're getting a lot of it right now. You guys are blowing them off the ball.
Say less. That's what I'm saying. I feel like I could go out there right now and run the ball or kick a field goal for them. So we'll see what happens right here.
Better you than Jay, I'll tell you that.
85 rushing yards already. They keep it on the ground. Why not? That time tangled up. Roberts no room to run. Sets up a 3rd down. Now your family's got to be fired up. Mizzou, 10 wins a year ago. They're back in the top 25. Rocky thinks they could be a college football playoff team. Feel-good factors real strong around this athletics program and the football team.
Great vibes. I think Laird has done a phenomenal job of bringing in great people. Eli Drinkwitz has really turned this program around. I actually have a cousin. Shout out to Gavin Hoffman on the squad. He's a freshman this year, and so our whole family is going to be here for the next 4 years cheering him on. And, it just runs deep in our family, so it means a lot.
Big 3rd down test here in the red zone. Play clock down to 2. Prabula gets rid of it quickly. It's caught. Reaching for the end zone, Marquise Johnson, and it was ripped away. No whistles. Louisiana's going back. And as this stands, this is going to be a Ragin' Cajuns touchdown. Mariam Eliam, as it stands, has taken it 99 yards back the other way. Johnson was reaching out to break the plane, and Eliam just ripped it away. It'll be interesting to see. They're going to take a look at this, obviously.
And Jay, that's why coaches always tell players, don't reach that ball across the plane like that because it can get knocked out. And we'll get another look at that to see if it did break the plane at all. Here's probably going to be our best shot.
It did.
It did break the plane.
That's a touchdown for Missouri.
I was about to say, I'm going to leave this booth. Yeah. I'm hearing about luck, but it looks like a touchdown, so I might stay.
Return for a touchdown.
Now, the ruling on the play was a fumble return for a Louisiana touchdown. But that look we just saw, Marquise Johnson breaks that play, and that should be a Missouri touchdown.
Further review. Ruling on the field was a fumble.
And what did Mike Desmo, the Cajuns head coach, tell us last night, Jay? He said, hey, we got to take advantage of a big Missouri mistake at some point. This would be it if it, in fact, holds up. But I don't think it is. He's not on the ground, and that looks like it crosses the plane right there.
That's a touchdown.
That's a touchdown. Ball is in firm control of both hands.
Hey, Sophie, you've been around sports. You've heard the phrase, it's a game of inches. It quite literally is in that moment.
This stresses me out. This is a whole other ball game. I stick around the W and the NBA, but this is fun. But to me right there, that is a touchdown.
You heard it from Sophie Cunningham. I
might be biased. Might be biased. I don't know.
A little bit.
And I think the officials did the right thing. You can't blow that dead.
No.
Let it play out. You can always go and review it. But this is right down the line.
It's not a good angle there.
I think this is the angle that shows this is a Mizzou touchdown. You need that indisputable evidence. I think that's it.
After video review, the runner had firm control of the ball when the ball broke the goal line plane. Therefore, it is a touchdown.
And that's the right call. So it's a touchdown for Marquise Johnson in Missouri.
And you just saw right there, Eli Drinkwitz talking to him. He's saying, look, in that situation, don't reach that ball. Really, the only time a coach wants you to do that is like a 2-point situation where it's not going to hurt you. But, I mean, incredible play by Eliam.
So a 14-point swing in favor of Missouri. Sophie Cunningham and Tigers fans around the country and in Memorial Stadium, big exhale.
All of us.
And Sophie, we really appreciate you taking the time to join us. Good luck to you. Good luck to the Indiana Fever as they begin their playoff run tomorrow.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate y'all having me on here.
Awesome. Awesome.
And you can tune in and root on Sophie Cunningham's teammates tomorrow on ABC, 3 p.m. against the Atlanta Dream. It begins a triple header. New York is in Phoenix, Seattle, at Las Vegas. Looking forward to the WNBA playoffs, which begin tomorrow. You could make the argument, Rocky, Sophie Cunningham is the biggest name of all the Missouri alums in the world right now.
100%. I mean, and Missouri's had a lot of great alums, a lot of great former football players, but she has certainly made an impact in the entire sporting world.
And what a cool moment, from growing up, being one of the fans in the stands, to putting on that Tigers uniform, becoming the all-time leading scorer, now making a name for herself in the WNBA. But the pride is right here in Columbia, Missouri. Robert Williams taking this back from his own end zone and is drilled. Didn't even get to the 15-yard line. Everything going Mizzou's way in this opening quarter.
Yeah, Nick DeLoach made an absolutely fantastic play on kickoff. Bang, showing right up there, splits 2 red helmets, and lays a textbook tackle on the returner.
Raging Cajuns head coach Michael Desimo told us, we've got to make this an uncomfortable game for Mizzou. We've got to give them the game they don't want. So far, it has been exactly the game Missouri has dialed up. And it's a quarterback change for Louisiana. Lunch Winfield into the game after back-to-back 3-and-outs. Quarterback keeper gets a block. Winfield, gain of 9, just short of the first down. Now, talking with Louisiana's coaching staff, they said don't be surprised to see Lunch Winfield. He's got about 10 plays that we call the lunchbox.
The lunchbox.
So we just saw one of them.
And a lot of those plays, Jay, are going to be just that. He is a dynamic runner. Not the biggest guy in the world, but he is stout. He can take a lot of hits. They like what he can bring in the run game.
So down 2 touchdowns. Louisiana turns to the lunchbox. Throws on the run. Dennis hit immediately as he caught it. Dre Norwood met him for no gain. It'll be 3rd and short.
Jay, we've done this long enough. You know what I love more than anything? Corners that can tackle. Corners that can get off of blocks and make tackles. Look at this. Dre Norwood just driving Shelton Sampson back and making a big play.
I don't think they got there. It'll be interesting to see where they mark this ball. Louisiana can't get anything going in the run game. Now this will bring up 4th and 1, no gain. So after a gain of 9 on first down, Louisiana still looking for their first down of the game. They've yet to move the sticks. Frustrating first quarter for Michael Desimo and this Raging Cajuns offense.
But this Missouri defense did some great things last week, especially in the pass game. Now, really doing a great job stopping that run.
Coleman lets his bounce and takes a Mizzou roll. And favorable Tigers field position already up, 2 touchdowns. Coming up, SEC Saturday night, Vanderbilt at South Carolina, number 11 Gamecocks taking on a Commodores team that went into Lane Stadium and beat Virginia Tech. That should be a good one tonight. 7:45 kick on SEC Network.
Missouri is certainly going to be paying attention to that game. Who they have next week? South Carolina.
It kind of worked out for them that the Heat moved the game up and that they get to watch that one. South Carolina comes here to Columbia a week from today. Trickery. Kevin Coleman Jr. gets the pitch. He's got so much speed. Great flash. The Mississippi State transfer gains 20.
Love the misdirection aspect of this offense, and Kevin Coleman's guy, he just needs a step. You see the corner, bites inside, and by the time he gets back out there, Kevin Coleman has turned the corner, shoulder pads square upfield.
Now they go right back to Coleman. Why not? This time to the other side. You can see first 3 weeks of the season, there is a concerted effort to get Kevin Coleman involved in this offense. The senior from St. Louis, he's transferred home, and he is playing great football for Eli Drinkwitz and this Missouri team. One quarter down. Tigers certainly look like the top 25 team. They were ranked this week. A 2-touchdown lead after one. Started the second quarter, and those stats say it all. A nightmare for Louisiana. Only 12 total yards of offense. Meanwhile, a dream for Eli Drinkwitz in Missouri. 161 yards of total offense. And they've got the ball looking for more. A 14-0 lead at the start of this second quarter. The run game. Big holes for Jamal Roberts to run right through into the red zone again. Gain of 17. Jamal Roberts and Ahmad Hardy, they've been impressive, but the holes that this offensive line are opening up are huge.
Yeah, it blew out the whole left side, and Terrence Williams, Cajuns linebacker, got sucked down inside, and Jamal Roberts made him pay for it. I mean, the hole size today, Jay, has been incredible.
And Prabula, a perfect 6 for 6 in the passing game. Decides to run it himself this time. Wow. Breaks a tackle into the end zone. Touchdown, Missouri. A quarterback who has put the college football world on notice, Bo Prabula, has been perfect today.
Great instincts as a runner, and Jay, that boy's got some jukes on him. Wow, cutting back across into the middle of the field. Across Jalen Clark, the safety. And again, we knew coming out of Penn State, Missouri fans heard about how great of a runner he was. We saw it last year. And you see it right there, but it's also been how great he's been the pass game. He's been perfect today in that.
Well, his head coach, Eli Drinkwitz, told us the players can feel the confidence he plays with. It's infectious. You can feel it if you're a fan. We can feel it in the booth. Prabula's got it all going on right now.
He commands a presence. He walks in the room, as we talked to him yesterday, very confident. I mean, I love what he told us. He said, you know, like, how do you stay with it? You know, this journey, you were kind of a backup really for 3 years. He said, I always prepared as if I was the starter. And now a couple years later, Jay, it's paying off.
Well, he is the starter now. 3 drives, 3 touchdowns. The last one from the legs of Bo Prabula. It is all Mizzou, 21-0. Well, you don't want to get hyperbolic, you know, 2 games and a quarter into the season, but Bo Prabula in this Missouri offense has looked as impressive as any offense in the country so far to begin this year.
Missouri fans want to get hyperbolic. He's been great. I mean, he really has. We set it up pregame. It's everything I talked about. He checks so many boxes, Jay. Obviously, you see what he did there in the run game on that last touchdown. But the arm talent, I think he has good touch, accuracy. He's got a good quick release, which I think you must have as a quarterback.
Right. You look at these two offenses today. Mizzou, 9 of their 22 plays have gone for 10 or more yards. Louisiana has 12 total yards, and they've yet to pick up a first down.
Yeah, they just really have not been able to get anything going, and I think it's more of a credit to that Missouri defensive line.
Very disruptive.
Yeah, Graciel, McClellan, those two big tackles inside. Sterling Webb, you see right there.
Beal back into the game. They missed the last drive. Khalil Jacobs, the senior linebacker, shoots in. Tackle for loss of 1.
Yeah, Jacobs, Zion Young getting in on the action right there. He had a heck of a ball game last week, forcing that fumble. It turned into a safety. It's Missouri's 4th tackle for loss on the day, Jay.
Oh, they have been dominant. Really, both sides of the ball. The Tigers have dominated the line of scrimmage. Offensive line opening huge holes in the run game. Defensive line dominating. Beal taking a deep shot. Draws pass interference here. Looking for Kadarius Wade. And Stephen Hall in coverage.
Pass interference on the defense, number 0. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
The first penalty of the game results in the first down of the game for Louisiana.
Yeah, it looked like he had that right arm or left arm hooked under wide receivers Wade's left arm. And it's always, whenever you don't look back to the quarterback, Jay, that always seems to bring the penalty flag there. But this is not the kind of game Louisiana wanted to play. They didn't want to sit back and have to take deep shots. They want to be able to run the ball, control the line of scrimmage, but it's hard being down 21.
Beal steps up, dialing up another deep ball, and that time defended well by the Mizzou secondary. Went right back to Wade.
And one thing Missouri wanted, they covered well last week in man coverage. They've done that again here today, but they wanted more pressure today. And I think we're seeing that's just not a pocket that Beal can step up into and really drive that ball downfield on a deep throw like that.
Well, to your point, Rocky, this is a Raging Cajuns offense that wants to run the ball. They average more than 230 rushing yards a game. And down 3 touchdowns, Beal's got to let it rip in the passing game. That's Stephen Hall again. He's been targeted 3 plays in a row.
These guys can straight play some man-to-man, and you got to have a secondary in the SEC to play man coverage against some of the top wide receivers in the country if you want to go far. And right now, they are locking those guys up. Stephen Hall is having a heck of a ball game so far.
Mizzou sends 5. Beal in trouble. Down he goes. Khalil Jacobs. Big sack. He had a tackle for loss to start the drive. He finishes it with a sack and a loss of 7.
It's been the same thing all day. Man coverage on the outside. You bring a linebacker. That's 5 rushers. No one picks up Khalil Jacobs on the stunt, and he brings the quarterback to the turf. I mean, there's nothing fancy about it. Lock the guys up on the outside. Let your rushers get good matchups and bring the heat. Bring a linebacker, and that's all she wrote.
That punt sails out of bounds, and Bo Prabula comes back to the field. 3 drives, 3 touchdowns so far, Tori.
Yeah, guys, this is a kid who has really focused on visualization being an important part of his game. He's got a master's in leadership, and he learned it there. Before he ever steps on the field, he visualizes every play in the playbook, and he uses his 5 senses to visualize what he's going to encounter in that game. So he said for this one, one of the things he thought about, it was going to be hot, so he was smelling what the turf would smell like in that heat.
And that's what it takes. Yeah, a lot of athletes, and Tori, great job. A lot of athletes use that visualization. It's how you can get more reps without having to actually be on the field and taking hits. You mentally take yourself through the checks, through the progressions, and to really immerse yourself in it the way Bo talked about is the key.
He's completed every pass he's thrown today, now 7 for 7 as he finds Marquise Johnson. He's got a rushing touchdown as well.
I told Bo about that study they did a while back where they had guys shoot free throws and some just visualized. The visualization free throw shooters wound up making more.
Oh, Maud Hardy churning those legs forward. He is so difficult to bring down, a gain of 14.
What a luxury for Mizzou to have not one but two legitimate backs, Maud Hardy, Jamal Roberts.
And how does that help Perbula?
You don't have to force things. As a, especially as a quarterback, this is still really his first year, right? He don't have to feel like he's got to go out there and win the game and force the ball somewhere he doesn't have to. Just relax, hand the ball off, let them do some work.
It finds Kevin Coleman Jr. on first down. And we posed that question to Kirby Moore, the Tigers offensive coordinator, and he said, look, when you can run the ball, then you can start taking some shots in the passing game and you put it on tape. Okay, this is a really difficult run game. Let's focus on that, and Perbula can hurt you in the pass game. It's such a nice compliment, and this Missouri offense has it all going to start the season. Right around midfield on a 2nd and 9. They go to Hardy. Breaks a tackle. Takes it for another Mizzou first down.
And they're getting big holes, but they're getting into the 2nd, 3rd level, and they're making guys miss. And this is Tyree Skipper. He's one of the best safeties in the Sun Belt, and he just kind of locks him up right there. Continues to trudge on forward the way he does.
An injured Ragin' Cajun in the backfield, getting looked at by the Louisiana medical staff. We'll step aside. We're back here in Missouri where the Tigers lead by 3 touchdowns. Mariam Eliam, the star defender for this Louisiana team, still being attended to on the field. The stretcher is out. Eli Drinkwitz speaking with the officials as Louisiana's teammates look on.
Yeah, and we're not going to show it. It was a pretty gruesome looking injury. The full weight of the left tackle, Caden Green, landed on top of Eliam. Very unfortunate.
And remember, earlier in the half, it was Eliam who thought he had stripped Marquise Johnson at the goal line and returned it 99 yards for a touchdown. That was overturned. And Louisiana still attending to Eliam down on the field. We'll step aside one more time. Moments ago, Mariam Eliam, the redshirt junior who plays a star position for the Ragin' Cajuns on defense, carted off the field. Did signal a thumbs up as he was carted off. His head coach Michael Desimo and this Ragin' Cajuns team, trailing by 3 touchdowns. Now you lose Eliam. It goes from bad to worse for them on the road against top 25 Mizzou. Pressure coming. Somehow Perbula got rid of it. Plenty of room to run. Roberts, touchdown, Tigers! Louisiana thought they had a sack. Bo Perbula had other ideas, and Jamal Roberts takes it 39 yards to the house.
This is one of the more impressive plays Bo Perbula's had this entire day. I mean, you get a free rusher. Trey Tomlinson is absolutely free shot to the quarterback. Bo Perbula little sidestep crossover like Sophie Cunningham and delivers a bullet.
Four offensive drives from Missouri. They've all resulted in Tiger touchdowns.
I mean, that's one they're going to replay over and over and over. Look, I mean, turns his head, free rusher, athletic enough to sidestep him enough to be able to get the ball out, knows where his outlet is. That's the key to the whole play. Finds Jamal Roberts in space, and he does the rest. Bo Pribula, fellas, ladies, gentlemen, everybody, is for real.
You touched it earlier. It takes so much self-belief when you haven't played, yet you've been backing up. First it was Sean Clifford, and then Drew Aller at Penn State, and you come to Mizzou still believing in yourself. I know what I'm capable of. You get your opportunity and you make the most of it, like Bo Pribula has in the first 3 weeks of this college football season.
It's a mindset. We talked about those visualization reps he's getting. That's the thing. It's hard for backup quarterbacks. You just flat don't get many reps of practice during the week. You got to take advantage of every single one you get. I remember hearing Tom Brady talk about that when he went to Michigan. He's like, Coach, I don't get any reps. How am I supposed to get better? And Coach is like, hey, you got to make every one count out there. And Bo Pribula, by all accounts, has done just that.
Well, he's a perfect 9 for 9 in the passing game with 2 touchdowns and 122 yards, and he's rushed for a touchdown as well. The defense has been outstanding as well. Josiah Trotter and this Tigers defense outstanding. And those two, they go way back. Played for a Pennsylvania high school state championship game. Pribula for Central York, Josiah Trotter for St. Joseph Prep. Trotter got the better of Pribula, but there was a great familiarity there as Louisiana breaks off their biggest offensive play of the day. And so when they were both in the transfer portal, Trotter coming from West Virginia, Pribula coming from Penn State, and they both think they're going to Missouri. They go, hey, I remember what a competitor he was in high school. And 2 huge gets in the portal as Mizzou reloaded on both sides of the ball.
And that's something these kids look at, Jay, is when they're hitting the portal, okay, where are some of the other top talented guys go? These players want to go somewhere where they can win, and they know that means we're getting in a lot of great players. And you know, Trotter sees Pribula coming in, loves it, and it's worked out very well for Mizzou so far.
Yeah, for as good as Pribula's been for the Mizzou offense, it feels like Trotter has provided that on the defensive side of the ball. So new teammates, but very much aware of each other going back to playing for a state championship. By the way, that St. Joe's Prep team on offense, because Pribula was like, hold on, guys, we lost the game, but they had Marvin Harrison Jr. at wide receiver, Kyle McCord at quarterback. Not much Pribula could do.
We won't say the score, but it was pretty hefty.
The score's pretty hefty right now in favor of Mizzou, 28-0. There's still 10 minutes left to this first half. Beal, he's thrown 6 straight incomplete passes, make it 7. And it's another 3 and out forced by this Mizzou defense.
You could say that's on Beal, but it's not. There's just not an open wide receiver. I like what they did there, Jay. They spread the formation out. They put trips to the top.
Louisiana, number 8, is 49.
So Mizzou couldn't bring pressure, but they were still able to lock them up outside.
I mean, to put this scoreline in context, this is a Louisiana program that won 10 games a year ago, went and competed for a Sun Belt championship. Raging Cajuns did not expect to be down 4 touchdowns in the first half, and they're without a key defensive player. Tori, let's get an update.
Yeah, guys, Morion Elam is being taken across the street to the University Hospital. There's a level 1 trauma center over there, essentially an ER that they're taking him to. They loaded him up in the ambulance, and they were keeping his right knee propped up and kind of turned outwards 45 degrees. Seemed like kind of keeping his hip in a certain position, really taking delicate care of that lower body as they loaded him into the ambulance.
Yeah, Tori, it did not look good when it happened on the field when we saw it up here. And hopefully for that young man, it's not as severe as it possibly could be, and he gets back out there.
Toss running left, Hardy. Loss of 1 for the first time today. Jaden Duggar and Jalen Clark combining for the stop.
It's a nice job by Jaden Duggar, the linebacker there. Just playing that thing, that outside zone, reading it down the line of scrimmage and hitting that hole when it comes open.
Well, the run game had treated Mizzou very well up until that point. 18 carries for 145 yards before losing 1 there. 2nd and 11. Blown up in the backfield. Duggar untouched. Huge sack on Bo Pribula, a loss of 6, and Pribula, nothing he could do there.
I have to imagine this is a breakdown with the offensive line, because if this is a hot blitzer, the quarterback usually knows where that is, right? He did absolutely had no inkling that Duggar was going to be coming up the middle or he was going to be picked up. Leads to a big play.
You saw on that replay, Pribula didn't see it coming until he was hit. There's a flag down right as the ball was snapped.
Offside on the defense, number 0. He was in the neutral zone at the snap, 5-yard penalty. Replay, 3rd down.
I mean, there's protections where they know they're leaving a guy go. It's up to the quarterback to get the ball out, but that didn't seem like that was the situation. That was on the previous play.
So another chance on 3rd down here for Pribula and the Mizzou offense.
Nevertheless, this is a game right now where you don't want your quarterback taking free shots.
Pribula deflected and intercepted. A tip drill. Cameron Whitfield, the defensive end, fell back into coverage, tipped it to himself, and the Raging Cajuns will take over in Mizzou territory.
And the Raging Cajuns, they bring the same blitz. They bring a linebacker up the middle. It's picked up well by Jamal Roberts. You see number 3, but then on the right side, Cameron Whitfield is going to be the one that drops out. This is what you hear this buzzword so many times nowadays in college football, especially recently, simulated pressures. Right, they line up, they got 7 guys on the line, showing like they're going to bring everybody, but somebody drops out. In that case, it was Cameron Whitfield, the athletic defensive end. Pribula didn't realize it and led to an interception.
First interception of the season for Pribula. First mistake of the game for a Missouri offense that had been so good up until that drive. They allow the sack. And then 3rd and long, Pribula picked off by Whitfield. And let's see if the Raging Cajuns can cash in on good field position already in the red zone for the first time today.
Got Lunch Winfield out there at quarterback.
Louisiana turns to the lunchbox. Quarterback keeper, designed run. Took a hard hit. Just shy of the 15-yard line. Will set up a 3rd and manageable for the Raging Cajuns.
Great job filling by the safety, Marvin Burks. This guy, he's got great ball instincts. Just one of those safeties that are playing real well right now for Missouri. Third and 4, I have to imagine Louisiana is going to have a run play here with the ability to try to pick up a little bit and then maybe go for it on 4th down.
0 for 5 on 3rd down. Louisiana trying to change that. Swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. Zion Young. Loss of 2. And Louisiana going to just try and take some points here off the interception. They send the field goal unit out.
Yeah, I think, Jay, had they gotten 2 yards there and made it a 4th and 1 or 4th and 2, they would have went for it, but you get a tackle for loss. That was the 6th tackle for loss by Missouri here today.
34-yard attempt for Tony Sterner. And the lefty puts it right through. So Louisiana is on the board, cashing in off the interception by defensive end Cameron Whitfield. The Mizzou defense did all they could after being put into that situation.
And I tell you what, we've talked about Perbula, but it's been the run game of Missouri that has been absolutely dominant. And look, we're going to give a lot of credit to the backs, but the offensive line has been spectacular. Look at this zone play, getting up to the second level and then allowing your running back to pick his lane and hit it hard. Look at this. This is student body left, second level, getting up to the top, Kalen Green. And just the size of these holes. And then when you get in combination with the wide receivers on the outside blocking like that, leads to a big-time rush day. 137 yards, 6.9 yards per carry, Jay.
Giving this home crowd plenty to shout about on both sides of the ball. And look at that rushing attack. This is a fan base that appreciates a good run. You can see when that hole opens up before Hardy or Roberts even runs through it, that crowd starts to come alive. They've had plenty to shout about on the defensive side of the ball. Louisiana still yet to pick up a first down on 3rd down.
And Jay, I think people mistakenly think this is a thunder and lightning situation. No, these backs are very similar. They're just 2 great all-around running backs. Both have power, both have speed. They both can catch the ball out of the backfield. And what a luxury when you can rest one, bring another fresh one in. And that's the key to a whole season, especially if you're going to make a playoff run. These seasons get long, you get beat up, you want to keep your guys fresh, keep some tread on those tires.
Here's Hardy trying to bounce another big run. Can't shake free, gain of 4, but that puts him up over 90 yards on the afternoon.
And Hardy, for as powerful of a runner he has some real wiggle to him. Even right there, just enough to, it gains an extra couple yards, but that can be all the difference.
They go right back to him. Why not? Couple of missed tackles. Ahmad Hardy is gone. Touchdown Mizzou. 71-yard run. Ahmad Hardy. Ahmad Hardy quickly becoming one of the best backs in the SEC. That is his 5th straight 100-plus yard game, 71 yards to the house. He's got 164 on the afternoon.
Jay, I want to get another look at this run here. The first look, I counted 3 missed tackles, maybe more. And that's what this guy does, breaks them. And there's 1, there's 2, there's that 3rd one coming right there. I mean, again, showing the finishing speed. He's got finishing speed. Enough not just to make a 20-yard run, but look, kicks it into that 6th gear like those horses he loves so much and gallops all the way to the end zone.
Yeah, down the stretch, hits the wire, touchdown. 71 yards to pay dirt. You mentioned broken tackles. Well, that is what Ahmad Hardy is known for. Look at these names a year ago, last season. Ashton Genty, Cam Scadaboo, Hunter at Auburn, and then Hardy was 4th. All 3 of those guys drafted to the NFL. Well, Ahmad Hardy is going to be playing on Sundays whenever he's eligible.
But until then, he has put himself squarely on the college football map is one of the top running backs in the country.
Robert Williams on the return. He breaks the tackle past the 35-yard line. And Louisiana knows Hardy. They went against him in the Sun Belt when Hardy was at ULM last year. Louisiana Monroe as a true freshman. He rushed for 172 yards against the Raging Cajuns a year ago. He's already got 164 today. He's had 100-plus rushing yards in 11 of the 15 college football games he's played in.
And we were talking to coaches yesterday.
The previous play is under video review for a potential signal being given by the receiving team.
That is.
All right, so official review for a potential signal given by the receiving team.
Yeah, and we talked with the coaches, and Hardy was a guy who was under-recruited, and we're like, what happened? Like, well, he didn't run he didn't have a great track time. It looked like he had some breakaway speed there, and also he had like 2 or 3 shoulder surgeries, and so some teams kind of stayed away, but I think that gave him a chip on his shoulder, pun intended. He's been great. If we get a look at the...
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe they thought he signaled for the fair catch. I don't see anything.
Yeah, certainly not in the returner, Robert Williams.
Well, we're being told by our production crew that it was not Williams, but the player in front of him who signaled.
After video review, number 7 on the receiving team did give a signal. Therefore, when the ball was caught by the receiving, the ball is dead at that spot, which is a 6-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 at that spot, Louisiana.
Rocky, you played special teams 8 years in the NFL. You ever see this?
I haven't seen this, and usually they tell you they want that arm high over their head. I don't know if that's exaggerated enough where I would call that. That's interesting.
Negates a 33-yard return.
Please reset the game clock to 5 minutes, 41 seconds. 5, 4, 1.
Everything going against Michael Desimo today in this first half.
Yeah, I feel bad for Coach Desimo. I didn't exactly love that call there, and it's going to force Louisiana back.
Well, and now movement on the line of scrimmage before the snap.
False start, 72 on the offense. Half the distance to the goal, 1st down.
Just seems like Louisiana's lost their composure here.
Well,
it snowballed on them.
Yeah, for them to come into this game, you got to have a little bit of success early and get some momentum, get some belief. You start believing in yourself, but I mean, just right out of the gate, Missouri just slammed the door shut both on offense and defense.
Swallowed up in the backfield. This Mizzou defensive front is dialed in. They deliver again. It's all going the Tigers' way.
You either got to block this guy, or if it's a zone read situation, the quarterback's got to pull the ball and keep it himself. But Mizzou's defense knows that Daniel Beal he's a decent runner, but he's not a dynamic runner. That's a play where you want Lunch Winfield in there. If you're going to read him, he pulls the ball and gets forward for a couple yards. Just didn't work out for him.
7th tackle for loss on just 21 plays. Play action, Beal gets it out to the far sideline quickly. There's a flag down. Also, that pass was ruled incomplete. Charles Robertson out of bounds when he caught it.
Pass interference on the offense, number 23. That penalty is declined. 3rd down.
Yeah, and I think they're calling that The offensive coaches like to call that a rub route. The defense calls it a pick. And I think you got to sell that a little bit more, that you're running that route, not just trying to impede the defender from getting to the outside.
Beal from his own end zone on a 3rd and 14. That was nearly picked off by Norwood. Missouri's defense on 3rd down this season has forced opponents to be 5 of 31.
Wow. It's the money down. It's what separates the good defenses from the great defenses. You can force that team to punt, your opponent to punt on 3rd down.
Number 8 is wearing number 45. Missouri, number 3 is wearing number 35.
And it's been a combination. I mean, just true complementary football. Bringing pressure, and on the back end, there is not any breathing room at all for any Louisiana wide receivers.
Torney backed up to the edge of the end zone. Awkward punting position, gets it away cleanly. Good power on this, but very returnable for Kevin Coleman Jr. Tries to bounce it. And taken out of bounds. There's a flag that flies in at the 45-yard line. The flags have really picked up in the 2nd quarter as well.
Illegal block in the back. Number 6 on the receiving team. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. 1st down.
Tonight after Vandy and South Carolina on the SEC Network, don't miss SEC Football Final. The guys will take you through the biggest games of the day. There's some big ones on this college football Saturday, week 3 in the SEC. LSU, Florida, Georgia, Tennessee. And I'll tell you what, they better be talking about Mizzou tonight into the top 25. And I'll give Rocky, I'll give you a lot of credit. In our meetings this week, you said, I think Mizzou's a college football playoff team. And they've certainly looked like it through the first 3 weeks of this season.
Yeah, I think they have the potential. I think they have the schedule to do it, which is always important. We'll get into that more as the game goes on, but quarterback, check. Running back room, check. Offensive line, check. Defense, check.
And you don't want to read too much into the early parts of the season, right? Football season's so long, but based off the tape, based off what you see, I agree with you. They look the part. More flags flying.
Offside on the defense. Number 95 made contact with the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
Relatively clean game up until the last 5 or so minutes where the flags have piled on here for Louisiana. Empty set for Perbula. 2nd and 5 after the penalty. Set to throw. Pressure coming. Can't escape it. Wrestled down. Trey Tomlinson, the senior cornerback, loss of 11 on the sack.
Yeah, another corner blitz, and Trey Tomlinson wasn't able to bring Perbula down on that pass. He had to Jamal Roberts for the touchdown, but this time, yeah, that's an excellent tackle in open space like that. Great play by Trey Tomlinson. Looks like they like the corner blitz. I would expect to see that more as this game goes on.
3rd and 16. Perbula slings it to the secondary, and that pass is broken up and falls incomplete. He was trying to find Marquise Johnson, who scored a touchdown earlier this half, and Jalen Clark was there at coverage for Louisiana.
And I thought this is a ball that could have come out of Perbula's hands a little bit sooner and with a little more mustard on it. He's open right there about the 40, but by the time he gets to the 42, shooting the 38, the defender's able to close in on him. That's one where that ball's got to come out of his hand before he gets open to be able to catch.
First punt of the afternoon for Mizzou. Louisiana came after him, got it away cleanly. Wesselman sends it all the way to the 16-yard line. So, Rocky, you were talking about it.
Yeah.
The All-State playoff predictor, look, they're going off numbers that this early you don't know. So I'd ignore that 26%. I just think it's too early. Rocky Boyman's telling you it's a better than 50% chance, right?
Yeah, I mean, these are my 3 teams. If I had to take 3 to have a good shot of making the playoff, and it's a combination, Jay, of how they've looked early, but also their schedules. They have some favorable schedules, all 3 of these teams here. And that's what it's all about, you know. If you got to go through an absolute gauntlet, it just makes it tough week in and week out.
You're kind of saying those were the 3 teams that fit into the Indiana criteria from a year ago.
That you know, can maybe sneak in that 11th, 12th spot.
Big hole opens up. Zylan Perry running right through it. Dalen Carnell trying to chase him down. Can't get there. Touchdown, Ragin' Cajuns. 84 yards to the house. What a run. Zylan Perry. 24 total yards all game for the Ragin' Cajuns. 84 on that 1 touchdown run.
And the Cajuns like the outside zone. This is more of an inside zone. It starts to go wide, but he hits that bad boy right in that left A gap. Some nice blocks, and then the speed. Zylan Perry, one of the best running backs in the Sun Belt Conference, takes it the distance.
And Louisiana fans and players and coaches are thinking, that's more like it.
That's what you want. You want to see your team continue to fight. Again, it just, Perry's a guy kind of like Hardy. Just give him enough blocks to get to the second level. He can make some guys miss. And a huge shot in the arm for Louisiana.
A Perry in a foot race with Carnell. The Sun Belt versus SEC. You know, usually you'd think the SEC player, but talking with Michael Desimo, he's coached the Sun Belt a long time, and look, he goes, athletically, we don't feel overmatched, particularly in the running back room. And look, Ahmad Hardy was playing in the Sun Belt a year ago.
Yeah, no doubt.
Eli Drinkwitz says, look, most of our running backs have been Sun Belt players, Division II players even, and you know, speed knows no level, and Perry showed that there.
There's no doubt. Zylan Perry. We've also talked about Bill Davis.
For Missouri on the return, number 11 is wearing number 98.
So Davis, Stephen Blanco, we previewed him before the game as being a part of that trio of powerful running backs the Cajuns have. And back to some of those teams, in my opinion, that could sneak in, Jay.
Zylan Perry kind of interrupted your your point. Is Missouri was up 35-3, but you just think that Tiger's schedule kind of suits them as well. And Iowa State, another team.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that huge opening win against Kansas State to kick the season off. You look down the rest of that lineup there, you don't see many ranked teams, right? That's part of it. You know, they don't play Utah, don't play Texas Tech.
The schedule plays such a big part with who will be the 12 teams to make the college football playoff. Big hit absorbed by the tight end Brett Norfleet. Tyrese Skipper laid the lumber there.
And the same thing, as good as Missouri started off the season, that's a huge part of it, but the schedule. You don't see Georgia on the schedule, you don't see Texas, you don't see LSU. You know, Alabama could possibly be in a down year situation, so
and 6 straight games at home to start the season. I think that's a huge advantage.
Oh, yeah, especially in this world of transfer portal, trying to figure a team out. I'd much rather play at home.
Another big run. Here goes Hardy again into the Louisiana secondary on a gain of 18.
I thought he should have maybe popped that thing to the outside. Same deal, just a zone run. Look, that thing gets in a phone booth and boom, he just pops out the side of it. Cuts back across.
15 carries for 182 yards today, 2 rushing touchdowns. They go right back to him. Why not? So fun to watch Ahmad Hardy run. Especially as the passing game kind of abandoned Prabula there on the last 2 drives. He started 9 for 9, but on his last 5 dropbacks, 2 sacks, 2 incomplete passes, and an interception.
For Ahmad Hardy, a chance to get out of this game with over 200 yards rush. I don't care who your opponent is. That's impressive.
2-minute timeout. Mizzou looking for more points. Already up comfortably, 35-10. You're watching the SEC on ESPN. Ahmad Hardy. He's a fan favorite already. Just his 3rd game in a Mizzou uniform. So much fun to watch. 16 carries, 187 yards, 2 touchdowns as he has emerged as one of the best backs in the SEC. This is Jamal Roberts, his counterpart in the backfield. Offensive coordinator Kirby Moore called Roberts a glue guy, so underappreciated. Finally broke out last week with his 143-yard day. And when you've got to prepare for Hardy and Roberts, that is really difficult in the run game. Third and 5 here, right at the 50. Prabula slings it. Pass is caught for a Mizzou first down. Joshua Manning, his first grab of the day, moves the sticks.
I like that. Quick pass, accurate, picks up the first.
2-minute drill for Prabula, and this Mizzou offense right on the money again. This time picks out Kevin Coleman Jr. for another Mizzou first down.
Talk about the many things I love about Bo Prabula. It's the accuracy. He comes into this game completing almost 80% of his passes. Bang.
Looks so comfortable, in command.
And it looks effortless. It's just ball come out of his hand. Ball finishes well, but it's in the spot where not just the receiver can catch it, but he can catch it and make some yards. 13 of 16 on the day so far.
Pressure comes. Prabula hit as he got rid of it and just throws it away. Nothing he could do there. Louisiana had numbers on him. And that'll bring up 3rd and 5.
Yeah, it looked like it was a side adjust. He thought Marquise Johnson was going to run a go route. Johnson didn't see it that way. I'd like to see him down here get Brett Norfleet, the tight end, involved. It's at the top of your screen.
Surprisingly, only 1 catch today for Norfleet, who had 7 in the win against Kansas. 2 touchdowns for the big tight end. Prabula rolling right, throws on the run, pass is caught. Coleman twisting, turning at the 15-yard line. Coleman now over 2,000 career receiving yards.
That is one of the key things for a quarterback. Can you orchestrate a scoring 2-minute drive?
Timeout Louisiana before the ball was snapped.
Timeout Louisiana. They're first. This will be a 30-second timeout. Please reset the game clock to 31 seconds. 3, 1.
Both teams with 2 timeouts now, 31 seconds
Thank you.
remaining in this first half. And coming up at halftime, do not miss Marching Mizzou, the pride of the Tigers, and a tradition that brings Faurot Field to life. Can get that queued up on ESPN Plus. We were at LSU last week. Tuba Kent, the viral sensation, who we featured on Random Fandom.
So I want to give you the credit, Jay, for really
Please reset the game
breaking
clock
that story
to
on
28
Ken.
seconds. 2-8.
He's like almost a household name at this
Thank you.
point, ever since you did that Random Fandom line last week at LSU.
He's gotten a lot of coverage this week. Couldn't be happier for him. Great story. And we got a great random fandom story here in Mizzou coming up in the third quarter. You don't want to miss it. A Mizzou fan base that is fired up for this team. They have started the season so strongly. Just about as good as you could want or have hoped for if you were a Tiger fan coming into the year. They go to the ground with Roberts. Leapfrogs inside the 10-yard line. You know you have those 2 timeouts, so you can afford a running play.
Missouri, they're second. This will be a 30-second timeout.
And I talked about the accuracy of Prabula, but I think we've really seen it come to fruition on this drive. You know, just little things. You know, putting the ball, again, where the receiver can not just catch it, but he can catch it and make some yards after the catch, fitting it in between defenders. He can throw on the run. That was a good throw because he threw the ball away from the defender there. Instead of putting it out in front of him where it's in harm's way, a defender can get his hand on it, throws it on the backside to secure the catch. And that's just smart, heady stuff by a great quarterback.
We're responsible for 3 of Missouri's touchdowns today, 2 through the air, 1 with his feet. And he'd love to add 1 more the final 23 seconds of this first half. Mizzou has been in control throughout. Still 1 timeout in their pocket here. 2nd and 5 inside the 10. Prabula throws to the end zone, looking for Manning. Wow. Put it right on the money. Did Manning get a foot down? They say no.
He may not have got a foot down, but that ball was put on an absolute dime. And there is hardly any room to fit this ball in. And the left foot
lands out of bounds.
Yeah, about 2-3 inches away from being able to get it in. But
Prabula put it right there.
That's incredible.
12th play of a long Mizzou drive right before halftime. Free play coming. Prabula just tosses it up there, knowing that Louisiana had jumped offside.
Offside on the defense, number 3 in the neutral zone at the snap. The penalty is half the distance to the goal, results in a first down.
That was 3rd and 4, so 5 yards gives Mizzou a fresh set here with 13 seconds left in the half.
All right, let's quit messing around. Let's get the ball to Northfleet. Big tight end down this area of the field.
Such a red zone threat. 2 touchdowns last week against Kansas.
He's on the top of the screen now, coming back to the bottom side of the screen, possibly going in motion.
Big number 87.
Could wheel him up this sideline here.
That's exactly what they do. Prabula, too much on it. Looking for Manning, the back of the end zone. Quick decision making though, it only takes 4 seconds off the clock.
Yeah.
With 9 seconds still to work with. You have at least 2 shots at this thing.
Certainly 1. 2 might be tough.
And you could still run the ball because you have the 1 timeout. Prabula surveys, tosses, looking for Northfleet. He had him. A rare miss by Bo Prabula, who had Northfleet wide open in the end zone.
That ball just sailed a little too high. Brett Northfleet is 6'6". He needed to be about 6'8" on that play to bring that in. And you could tell he knew he had to get the ball out of his hand quick. How those defensive backs were converging, it just sailed a little high on him.
So you still have 5 seconds here, but on 3rd and goal, Eli Drinkwitz decides to be conservative. Go with the 21-yard field goal attempt. Robert Meyer chips it right through. And that finishes the first half with Mizzou in command. 28-point lead for the top 25 Tigers. Now, Bo Prabula, 2 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown. Ahmad Hardy, 2 rushing touchdowns. And Eli Drinkwood's team showing why they're one of the teams everybody's talking about at the beginning of this college football season.
All righty, welcome in. It's the SEC Halftime Report. Dari, Doring, and Watson, and there's plenty to get to. Lots happening tonight. Another big-time day, of course, in the SEC. And we want to take a look at all of these games that are still to come. I mean, you're looking at 8 of those.
We got a few more conference games, which helps
just nice,
cut the number down a little bit.
Makes it more exciting. You know?
Yes.
I think we're going to learn something this week.
That's right.
4 conference games. Oh, by the way, A&M Notre Dame, that's pretty doggone sexy as well. So let's start kind of dialing into some of this. Little game of Show Me. Boog started this years ago when he was here at the SEC Network. And, you know, it has nothing to do with the state of Missouri. But he just says, show me.
It can have something to do with Missouri.
It can.
In this case, it's not.
It's not mandatory.
I'm going to go first
You
here.
go first.
And I'm going to start with a team that we're very familiar with, the Tennessee Vols. I need Tennessee to show me that they can match the physicality that Georgia's going to bring. What Tennessee does is they beat up on lesser teams. They're bullies. They're 12-0 when they face FCS or FBS teams. They put up all kinds of points, averaging 57 points a game. The average margin of victory is 47. Well, how about when they play the big boys on their schedule? Georgia, Alabama, Florida. They're only 4-8 under Josh Heupel, and that scoring average goes all the way down to 22.3 points a game. And that average is not of victory, it's of defeat, minus 11.5, because that offense can't match the physicality of those teams. When they're better than everybody else, they beat them up. But when they're not, they are a little bit of the bullied and not the bully. The big bullies coming to town. Show me you can match that.
You got a point. 8 straight victories for Kirby Smart in Georgia. And to your point, when Tennessee has had those high-flying offenses, it's been Georgia's interior linemen that have put pressure up the middle on those quarterbacks to make it difficult. That's what they'll try to do against Joey Aguilar. But we're going to stay there, and I want Georgia to show me that you can throw the ball past 5 yards. 5 yards in the air per attempt is what Georgia is averaging in the pass game. Look, the now pass is important. We call it an extension of the run game sometimes, but look, receivers blocking downfield, getting the ball to Zachariah Branch, Noah Thomas, those are all great things in breaking tackles, but at some point in this football game, you're going to have to throw the ball downfield. Gunnar Stockton is 1 of 7 on passes thrown over 20 yards. Tennessee, on the other hand, has given up 10 of those passes, so at some point, Georgia's going to have to test that secondary of Tennessee, get some chunk plays, some explosive plays downfield. Show me Gunnar Stockton, show me Coach Mike Bobo that it's in the repertoire and that Gunnar Stockton is ready to pull that trigger.
You're one of those Georgia fans, just like the rest, that complains about Mike
Oh,
Bobo.
I'm not complaining. I'm excited.
Every year,
I'm excited about it.
What are we going to do?
I am team Bobo, team Gunnar.
All right.
But show me.
Why would you show anybody else what you can do until you need to? They need it this week.
Exactly.
That's a good point, too, given the teams they've played.
Yeah.
Dar, what you
Go
want to see,
ahead.
Dar?
Let's slide this over one more time. I would like your alma mater to show me that there's some guts. Bring your own guts. Show me that there is some pride. Show me that there is some desire to just get over the debacle of the second half of the fourth quarter last week against USF. It was, again, one mistake after another, the kind of stuff that has marred most of Billy Napier's tenure there. How do you lose to the University of South Florida when you've got a lead in the fourth quarter? Opportunities lost. What they've got to do here, pardon the pun, they got to just spit on what happened Saturday last week. They got to spit on that thing. It's gone. Forget it. It's in the past. Kick it to the side. Take care of business against LSU.
That's not even a thing. You don't spit on something to the side. And secondly, if there's one thing Florida can do,
Yeah, you do.
it's bounce back. Why do they always have their backs against the wall? Maybe keep your back off the wall so you don't have to come off the wall.
Well, sometimes you just got to bury it. I remember one time we lost so badly. I was playing in New England, and Bill Belichick took the entire team up to the practice field with a shovel and buried the game ball from the game before, and we didn't even talk about it. Like, it was done, we're burying it. That's what they need to do. But also show me, Florida, if you got some discipline, to your point.
Yeah.
The penalties late.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
You know what else Belichick buried was the Patriot Way. That's long gone.
Yeah, it sure is. That's extinct.
That's
Okay. That went the way to dodo.
All right, we've got a big game. Mentioned it earlier. You saw the big screen. The biggest non-conference game, would it be? Yeah, I guess so, concerning the SEC, and that is A&M at Notre Dame. Aggies trying to get a little revenge for the Irish beating them at Kyle Field a year ago.
They're going to throw for it. Incomplete. The Irish take over.
Went on the road in a tough environment, and they're going to get a win.
Take a look in the mirror. We are who we are. Warriors, winners, champions, go-getters. We ready to go. This is what it sounds like when you got that hustle and flow.
It'd be naive to not think that our kids understand the magnitude of a top 10 matchup on the road.
The opportunity to play Texas A&M is all the motive you need.
Is this a big stage, big opportunity, prime time? Yeah, for sure.
It's a chance for us to see how good we are versus a really good opponent.
Massive, massive early season game, and maybe even bigger, honestly, for Notre Dame. They can't go 0-2. Yeah. They lost to Miami, didn't play last week, can't go 0-2.
Their schedule does not have a whole lot of resume builders after this one.
No, they might be. If they ended up 10-2 with this loss, you're going to be asking at the end of the year, where was their best win? So this is costly if they lose here. Key to A&M getting up there and getting a W. B-Dub, what is it?
Well, I think the key starts up front, offensive line, defensive line, specifically for Texas A&M. They've got to do well, play well in the run game. They can't let Jeremiah Love, Jadarian Price run all over them. This offensive line and this Notre Dame run game is going to commit to that because Texas A&M is in the bottom half, actually the bottom of the SEC. So I'm going to need Texas A&M's defense to be like those nocturnal armadillos that are tearing up my yard. I need them to be ready tomorrow night in order to defend against this Notre Dame run game. Right here, you see what Notre Dame likes to do. This is last year against Texas A&M. It's a quick hitting trap play. You see the tight end and the guard pull across, creating angles. The running back hits it very quickly. Those plays are difficult, CD, for defenders because it hits so quickly. They've got to shed blocks and tackle. Now, you're going to see again on this play some tremendous vision by the Notre Dame running back, but you also see a hat on a hat. The running back has the ability to bounce outside. He's got the speed, but with the wide receivers blocking the way they do, Texas A&M is going to have to be ready and have inside out, or actually outside in leverage and not allow the back to get around them. UTSA, the very first game, they give up 203 yards, Dari, to UTSA. And it's the same things that we saw that gave them problems against Notre Dame in the game last year. It's outside runs, it's cornerbacks, DBs not getting off blocks, it's allowing the running back to get around the edge. And right here, look, you tell me what the problem is. 1, count, 2, 3, 4. Bad angles, and not enough speed to catch up with the running backs. You give up 203 yards to UTSA. I guarantee you Notre Dame, with those two running backs who are the best 1-2 punch, one of the best 1-2 punches in the entire nation, almost 2,000 yards last year, is going to test Texas A&M's run game.
It's funny you talk about the key to the game being Notre Dame and their ability to run versus Texas A&M's run defense. I think the key on the other side is exactly the opposite. I think you're going to see Marcel Reed involved in the read option game. You're going to see Le'Veon Moss running physically. Can Notre Dame stop the run game of the Aggies as well? Now, I know we've talked a lot about the explosiveness this year with KC Concepcion and Mario Craver, but at the core of who they want to be, they want to run the ball first and foremost, and I think that's going to be the fascinating dynamic in this ballgame.
How do you describe the importance of this for A&M? Not going to kill them if they lose this football game, but we did a whole thing. Show me. What would you like them to show you?
I want them to show me that they can be consistent. They've had moments of looking really good. They take the foot off the gas. They lose focus, whatever it is. Last week, Mike Elko was imploring his defense to keep playing, be more physical, stop the run, tackle, as B-Dub said. I want to see them have a complete performance in this one. No better setting to go do it. You're going into the South Bend in that iconic stadium. Put your best foot forward.
But you talk about marquee games. You talk about statement games. This is a statement game for Elko, and it's also a statement game for the entire program of Texas A&M. They have struggled on the road against top, ranked opponents in the AP tremendously over the last several years. And so we always look at Texas A&M and say they're almost there. Well, this is an opportunity early in the season to show not that you're almost there, but that you are there as a competitor.
No question about it. Big game later tonight. Plenty of big games later tonight. I love our primetime game. South Carolina hosting Vanderbilt. Couple of 2-0s there. And when that game's final, and all the other ones are too, make sure you're right back over here. SEC football final. The three of us take you through the entire day. Week 3 Saturday in the...
First, you'll need the ESPN app on your connected TV or favorite device. If you have it, open it up. If you don't, download it now. Next, click on the live event or ESPN show you want to watch. Then choose your TV provider and log in. You're all set. It's all of ESPN, all in one place. Go to support.espn.com to learn more.
You're watching the SEC on ESPN. About to start the second half here in Columbia, Missouri, Memorial Stadium. And it is home sweet home for now. Bo Pribula coming over from Penn State. He looks the part at quarterback. First 4 drives of this game resulted in touchdowns for Mizzou. They are in the driver's seat. Comfortable 38-10 lead at the break. Rocky Boyman, Jay Alter with you, Tori Petrie down on the sideline. Rocky, obviously, we said it at the beginning of this game, Mizzou came into week 3 with plenty of momentum, and they just keep being productive on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, picked up right where they left off, and they really controlled the line of scrimmage early on. I mean, that run game has just gotten going and hasn't really stopped. Defensively, doing a great job on the back end, man coverage, and then just letting those guys up front eat, finding good matchups they want, bringing 5, pressuring the quarterback. It's been a great day for them.
So good all over the field. It's hard to say what impresses you most about this Mizzou team.
Yeah, but Bo Pribula has been fantastic. The accuracy has really shown up. Really only about 1 or 2 bad passes he threw. The rest of them have been on the money. That's a great job there, getting out of a sure sack and finding your running back, Roberts, for a touchdown. And he just continues to improve, and Ahmad Hardy has been the real story. The Louisiana Monroe transfer has had a real coming out party here today. Great job on the offensive line, but once it gets to that 2nd, 3rd level, it's been all Hardy.
Hardy is the first FBS player this season to rush for 180 yards or more in the first half of a game this year, only done twice last year by Ashton Genty. That's pretty good company. Let's check in with Tori down on the sideline.
Yeah, guys, Coach Drink wasn't quite as impressed with his team as you guys have been. He was not happy about that interception and settling for a field goal just before the second half. He says that they came into this game with the mentality that they wanted to have the discipline to dominate for 4 quarters, and they didn't do that well enough in the second quarter, so he wants to see them buckle down here in quarters 3 and 4. One thing he did love, though, his run game.
Yeah,
he's a harsh critic.
Yeah, harsh critic. But look, that's what it takes if he wants to be the kind of team to be in that position at the end of the season. No let up, right? But it was all Missouri in that first half.
And Mizzou will start with the ball, ready to receive. Pribula looking to get back out onto the field. I will say, we both said it to each other at halftime, for as good as Pribula was in the first half, and he was outstanding, the last throw right at the end of the first half should have found his tight end Norfleet for a Mizzou touchdown, and it just sailed on him.
Yeah, Louisiana brought a corner blitz a few series before that. That was the only time it looked like it rattled Pribula a little bit. He got it back together, just unfortunately couldn't finish that touchdown drive with a throw.
Marion Folks lets that drop for a touchback. Mizzou starts the second half with a comfortable 28-point advantage.
And this is, as a coach, Eli Drinkwitz wants to continue to see his quarterback operate this offense, get him out of bad plays and into good plays, setting protections, going through his progressions. And all that's easier, Jay, when you can lean on that run game the way he has.
Have to be impressed with how Mizzou conducted themselves in the first half, though. You're coming off that monster rivalry win against Kansas. You got number 11 South Carolina coming here a week from today. You think, could this be a trap game? And it has not been taken lightly by Mizzou. Hard running, Ahmad Hardy picks up where he left off after a monster 187 yards in the first half, 20 on that carry, and he has a new career high rushing of 207 yards.
He just has that little jerk, a little like, see right there. And it doesn't look like much, but it's just enough to be able to get to the outside, pick up a few more yards.
Here's Hardy again. This time lost his footing, falls down. Flags fly right at the 50.
Holding, number 77 on the offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay, first down.
We told you about Hardy's love of horses in the first half, and he's got Coco and Jet that he rides every day in the offseason. He runs like a thoroughbred. Just lost his footing that time, but up over 200 yards already, a career high. Outstanding out of the backfield. Quick hitter. Coleman Jr. turns it upfield, puts on the brakes, and then tackled right at the 50. Gain of 14.
Like that play call there, a little tunnel screen to Coleman. Shoot the ball out to him. There's the lineman coming and get back underneath those big bodies pulling around Curtis Piegler and company.
Right back to Hardy for a Mizzou first down.
Now, I'm not a running back coach, Jay, but if I'm going to critique Hardy, when he goes to the left, he still has that ball in his right hand. It's at least the second time I've seen that.
Easier to strip, obviously.
Yeah, when it's inside, you want that ball away toward the sideline.
And now here's Roberts, who comes in to spell Hardy. And the way the run game has been going for Mizzou today, you have to think that the Tigers will want to keep things on the ground. 261 yards rushing already. We just began the second half. Up over 430 total yards on the day. Right back to Roberts, up the middle.
You gotta like the size of this Missouri offensive line, left to right, 325, 315. Tallis in the center, 290, but then Piegler 338 and 320 on the outside for Troust.
How about Connor Tollison, just 10 months removed from an ACL injury. He's still getting back to his highest level, but has looked really good anchoring that offensive line today, getting a great push in the run game. They keep it on the ground with Hardy. Needing 2 yards on third down, and they got him. That moves the sticks. A fresh set of downs for Prabula and the Tigers offense here. A pump and go. Nobody open for Prabula, so he just goes down with it. Got back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and they set that play up, Jay. Earlier in the drive, we saw the little shoot the ball to the screen on the outside. This time they're going to do a little screen and go. They want those defenders to rush up and try to tackle. I think it was Ubade on the inside there, but they wanted to streak the other guy up the sideline there. But a good decision.
There was the pump, but there was no go.
Yeah, but a good decision by Prabula not to try to force something there. Live to fight another day.
Right back to Hardy. Breaking a couple of tacklers. Refusing to go down. Ahmad Hardy inside the 10. One of the hardest runners in the country. Showing off with another gain of 25.
I'll tell you what, Jay. The best, even some of the best running backs out there, when they get contact, their legs stop. His legs never stop. I mean, breaking tackle after tackle. And what a coming out party for Ahmad Hardy.
243 yards rushing.
There were 6 different guys hit him on that play, and he just kept turning forward.
Give it right back to him. Why not? Touchdown! Ahmad Hardy, his third of the day. First player in the country to have more than 200 yards rushing in a single game this season. Add 3 touchdowns now to his tally. And he is the engine right now for a really good Mizzou offense.
He deserved a touchdown there. He had some hard runs. Credit Eli Drinkwitz for letting him finish off. Over 250 yards on the ground today. I mean, look at that little juke, that little wiggle there. He's got it all, Jay. He's got the wiggle. He's got the tackle breaking ability. He's got the end, the finishing speed. He's a total package.
Averaging over 11 yards per carry. If you did not know the name Ahmad Hardy, now you do. One of the best backs in all of college football. 250 yards, 3 touchdowns. Take a bow, Mr. Hardy. What a day for Ahmad Hardy. 250 yards, 3 touchdowns. In all of college football, nobody's run for more yards this season in a single game than Ahmad Hardy. And we've still got 10 minutes left in the third quarter. And not only is he a great runner of the football, he's a character. Take a look at these touchdown celebrations by Hardy. Week 1, giddy up. He loves riding horses. Fisherman 2, reeling it in, little yoga. And then the third touchdown, I'm just exhausted.
Yeah, I'm tired.
Can't think of anything when you scored 3. Taking a well-deserved rest down there. And, you know, Torrey Petrie before the game had the thermometer down there is 110 degrees. And to rush for 250 yards and
in this heat, something else.
Incredible. False start before the snap.
False start on the offense. Number 76, 5-yard penalty. First down.
Yeah, guys, you mentioned it was about 110 when the game started. It's about up to 113 at this point, so only getting hotter down here on this field. If I leave my microphone out in the sun too long, it gets a little too hot to touch. So I assure you, it is steamy down here, but you know what Josiah Trotter said about Ahmad Hardy? If a guy can ride a horse, he can run the rock.
Yeah, and I didn't necessarily know how those two connected, but now I believe him. Because he said, look, all offseason he's talking about his horses. He brought them from Mississippi here to Missouri so he could ride them every day. And a couple teammates have gone out with him, and he's a natural jockey, which is very interesting at 5'10". You don't see a lot of jockeys at near 6 foot.
Or ones that are 215 pounds.
Right. Well, the defense continues to deliver. Damon Wilson, the Georgia transfer, with a sack. And if you missed it in the first half, this is what we're talking about with Hardy. He's got a beloved mare, a female horse, Coco. That's Jet. And yeah, look at him in the saddle there.
He's not bobbing around, not shifting side to side.
He, on his social media, he joked it's Hardy Stables. Hey, after maybe a long NFL career, maybe he goes and gets into some horse racing.
Maybe.
3rd and 17. Louisiana keeps it on the ground. Nothing doing. Wilson again, back-to-back big plays from the junior out of Venice, Florida. What a pickup he was in the transfer portal, staying in the SEC, coming over from Georgia. He looks right at home with Mizzou.
Yeah, he can be their most dominant rusher. You see the athleticism.
49.
But yeah, Hardy, I mean, there's back to him. There's certainly, you know, some symbolism there, a horse and how he runs and how he trudges forward. It fits, man.
He runs with some serious horsepower. Yeah, the Mizzou offense will be back on the field, up 35. This game well in control with 8 minutes left in the third quarter. Random fandom. We had a great time meeting this group of Mizzou fans, Columbia natives that have prime real estate. They joke that their tailgate location is beachfront property in Columbia. They've been coming to the same spot for over 20 years. It starts early for them because you don't just buy the spot. Unlike other schools in the SEC where you own your spot, you got to wake up every Saturday and claim your turf. So there they are, Brett, Joseph, and Mac, 4 a.m., claiming their spot that they've been in for more than 2 decades. For the first time this year, the next generation has taken over. So it's been the dads for the last 2 decades. Now they're passing the torch to Brett, Joseph, and Mac. They're up at 4 a.m. to make sure that they got their spot.
I love that. Make the youngsters get up early and set that thing up. And what I love about it, yeah, it's like a tradition that's forming, and you pass it on down. When they get to be older and have families, they'll make sure their kids are up 4 a.m. trying to get that spot.
And that is what college football is all about. The fans that carry it through your family, through the decades, through the generations. We've got a new quarterback for Mizzou. Bo Pribula's day is done after putting up 45. Matt Zollers, the true freshman from Royersford, Pennsylvania. And much like Pribula, if you can hand the ball off and let your running backs run behind this outstanding offensive line like Marquise Davis just did, another true freshman from Missouri, gained a 16 on his first run.
And this is important to be able to get some more guys in the game. It helps your depth. You're going to need them as the season goes on and injuries pop up. So this is a good opportunity for Mizzou here.
Up over 300 rushing yards today. Pretty good when you can take your ones out midway through the third quarter against an opponent that won 10 games a year ago, played for a Sun Belt championship. And this is not some FCS opponent where you knew, okay, we're just going to blow the doors off of them. They earned a 35-point lead and an opportunity to get some backups into this game.
And that's what's impressive is, I know it doesn't seem like it now looking at this score, but this is a good Louisiana program. As we mentioned earlier, they went to the Sun Belt title game last year, won 10 games, but it's been Mizzou just handling them on both sides of the ball.
And Zollers, the quarterback, you know, you come in as a true freshman and you're behind Bo Pribula and Sam Horn to start the season. You probably don't expect to play that much as Davis scampers for another big gain of 17. But Horn goes down, season-ending surgery earlier this week to repair the fractured tibia. Now you know, okay, if anything happens to Bo, I'm the guy. So good opportunity to get the young quarterback some live reps here. Right back to Davis. This time Matt trying to push that pile forward. Mizzou on a clear mission here. Finish this game off and then get ready for South Carolina. They'll have their full attention on Vandy against the Gamecocks coming up later tonight on SEC Network. Kickoff 7:45 Eastern time.
What a great quarterback matchup in that one. Lenora Sellers, one of the most dynamic quarterbacks in the SEC. And Bo Pribula, who's kind of a new kid on the block, playing great.
There's been some rumbling since we got to town that maybe College Game Day could be on their way if both Missouri and South Carolina won. Rocky and I don't make those decisions, but certainly it would make a lot of sense.
Yeah, two hot teams at the moment.
It's such a luxury for Missouri when you look at that schedule that they don't travel until October 18th. 6 straight home games and a bye week.
And how important is that for what is essentially a new quarterback? It's hard going on the road. I mean, look at Arch Manning, week 1, you're playing at Ohio State. You can figure things out a little bit better when you're at home.
Not much running room there for Daniel Blood after the catch. Cody Jackson made the tackle, and Zollers in the offense have to run off. Field goal attempt. This is another question mark for Missouri. You know, Robert Meyer, the freshman who certainly didn't expect to be playing in his first season of college football. Blake Craig was the starter at the beginning of the year. He's been ruled out. So Meyer thrown into it from 41. Missed it. Eli Drinkwitz told us we really don't know what we've got in the kicking game. Maybe we'll get Meyer some opportunities. He got one there and missed it from 41. Louisiana, tough sledding offensively. This sums it up perfectly. The one touchdown they've scored was an 84-yard run by Zylan Perry. The other 26 plays, only 22 total yards.
That's shutdown defense right there. Defensive line has been unblockable here today.
And as we just saw, the Missouri offense starting to put in the twos. Missouri's defense has done the same. That's a drop from Robert Williams. And Michael Desimo told us in the week 1 loss, too many drops, 7 drops that you just never see. And that one, Williams plenty of space, just couldn't haul it in. And that can get contagious for a football team.
And even the more confusing part, he said, was, look, coming out of camp, I thought how we threw and caught the ball was our strength. And it's just been a lot of that this season. You mentioned the 7 drops in the first game, had a few last week, and there's one they need to get here right there.
Lunch Winfield, the backup quarterback, getting some extended time here, letting him throw the ball. Had mostly just been used as a runner in the first half. Feels like Louisiana has lived in 3rd and long today, and that's a testament to the Missouri defense. Raging Cajuns 0 for 8 on 3rd down, and their quarterbacks a combined 2 of 13 in the passing game for a grand total of 4 yards. And Winfield can't change that. Knocked down by Norwood. Dre Norwood's had an outstanding game at corner.
He has. All those guys have. And Stephen Hall's been great in coverage. And when you got guys that can cover man-to-man, that enables you to bring more pressure. You can bring a 5th guy, maybe even a 6th guy to get after that quarterback if you got guys that can cover.
Wobbly punt that lands at the 32-yard line. Rolls out of bounds just shy of the 25. Now, if you haven't already, enjoy the all-new SEC Network Fall Football lineup. Paul Feinbaum Show anchors that coverage. Obviously, that's nothing new. The SEC Now, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday nights. If you want to follow SEC football, SEC Network is the place. And I was looking at it today, Rocky, when you said, you know, Missouri, you've got them as a playoff team in your head. So I'm, okay, who else in the SEC? I looked at 5, maybe even 6. I mean, it's just so loaded. We say this every year, and you know, people accuse of bias, but if you look at what the SEC has done in non-conference play, outside of Alabama losing to Florida State, they have been so dominant that they have stacked all the numbers their way. And obviously they're going to beat themselves up to some degree, but LSU, Georgia, Texas, South Carolina, Oklahoma's been outstanding. Tennessee's got an opportunity to get a big win today against Georgia. A&M playing Notre Dame tonight. I mean, look at that one.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're saying Missouri, you like them, well, they still got 10 teams in front of them in the top 25.
You're right. It's why it's one of the most storied conferences, because of the depth of it. It's not like, you know, you could argue the Big Ten has better overall teams, but certainly don't have the depth that the SEC does right now.
Well, the rest of the college football world would totally freak out if half of the college football playoff teams were SEC. And I'm here to tell you that the numbers and they deserve it. I mean,
they deserve it, then that's what should happen.
Again, a lot of football to be played, but a lot of this stuff gets baked in the non-conference when you have those head-to-head games where the SEC has been so dominant.
It does, but you could make the argument that's also the problem of these good teams just beat each other up in the SEC the rest of the season.
It would not be surprising to see Missouri and 5 or 6 other schools make it to the CFP. Over in the ACC, Clemson has lost to Georgia Tech. Our spotter Ken Trevor loves that. Proud Yellow Jackets alum. Big dent in their resume. You lose to LSU and now Georgia Tech. Your margin for error could be gone if you're Clemson.
Yeah, and they were a team, there's a lot of smart folks out there thought they could possibly be the champion with who they had coming back.
Got to earn it on the field, and Missouri has certainly done that through the first 3 weeks of this season. Still got 1 quarter to play here, but they just picked up another first down. They're up by 35 in cruise control here. We'll hear from Eli Drinkwitz in between the 3rd and 4th quarter. He told Torrey at halftime he wasn't happy with how his team looked in the first half. Harsh grader. I hope there's a curve in Professor Drinkwitz's class, because looked pretty good to me.
That's the end of the 3rd.
So we'll hear from the Mizzou head coach when we come back. His team up 45-10 after 3.
Coach, you got your 2s in there now, but what a game so far from your 1s. What can you say about how you felt about how Ahmad Hardy and Bo Pribula played in this first half?
Yeah, I thought Ahmad and the offensive line really did a nice job running the football. Obviously, we talked about all week having the discipline to dominate an opponent for 4 quarters, and I think we're trying to do that. Let's see if these 2s can finish it off right here.
Defensively, what did you think about how your defense showed up?
Yeah, they responded. We really have given up 1 play, but other than that, they've done a nice job today.
Thank you, Coach.
MIC.
Well, that summed it up pretty well. Outside of that 84-yard rushing touchdown by Zylan Perry, this Missouri defense has been flawless.
They really have. It starts up front. Zion Young, Damon Wilson, the transfers, had a bunch of nice plays. Josiah Trotter early in the game was a huge, impactful player.
Matt Zollers, backup quarterback, true freshman, in there at the start of this 4th quarter. His team up 35. Marquise Davis, the freshman from Cleveland, Ohio, has been very productive out of the backfield. When you're running behind Jamal Roberts and Ahmad Hardy, not going to get too many carries with how talented those 2 backs are. Dynamic duo, so good to get Davis some touches here. Right back to Davis. Pretty light work for the quarterback Zollers coming in when you can hand it off to capable runners and let them go behind this offensive line. Cody Jackson is down for Louisiana. Bo Pribula's day is done after a successful offensive game. Helped that he had Ahmad Hardy and his 250 rushing yards, which is the best of any running back in all of college football to start this season.
And you see Eli Drinkwitz patting him on the shoulder because he played a heck of a ball game. Have to be impressed. Obviously, there's always things to work on, but I think the things, Jay, we previewed before the game, you know, the arm talent, the accuracy, the ability to run the ball. We saw all those things come to fruition today.
Yeah, 2 passing touchdowns and a rushing touchdown for Pribula. Hardy added 3 rushing touchdowns. A fumble, and Zollers jumps right on it. That's why it's good to get live reps, right? The true freshman coming in from Springford High School in Pennsylvania, 4-star recruit, number 8 quarterback, according to the ESPN 300.
Yeah, there's no substitute for live game reps. You can do all the practicing you want, and you have to do that, but this is where you get better as a player. Looked like if the running back went a little wide, he tried to still stuff it in there and just couldn't.
2nd and 14 after the fumble. And Davis, successful handoff that time. Runs all the way to the Louisiana secondary, gain of 12 to set up a 3rd and 2. I'd have to think, Rocky, that Bo Pribula would be the perfect starting quarterback to learn from if you were the backup, because he was the backup for 3 years at Penn State behind Clifford and Aller, and so he knows exactly what Matt Zollers is going through and probably helping him as much as he can.
No, that's very well said. Yeah, he can tell Zollers about, hey, having to wait your turn, but how to get those mental reps that Pribula talks so much about, and visualization, and also just how to keep your spirits up. You know, that can be a daunting thing, and I think that's maybe one of the most impressive things about Pribula. He sat behind Sean Clifford for 1 year, Drew Aller for 2 years, 3 years. He's been trying to get on the field, and he had to switch schools to be able to do it, but to maintain his composure and maintain his work ethic, to battle through that until his opportunity came, I don't think there's a better teacher for that.
Zollers going for it on 4th down. Davis picks it up. Keeps the drive alive. 4th down conversion, which Mizzou was so good at a week ago. They were 5 of 6 on 4th down against Kansas. You know, when you can be up over 60% on 3rd down and up over 80% on 4th down, that is a heck of a recipe. An errant snap that was handled well by Zollers. They keep feeding Davis. Going back to Pribula and waiting your turn, he wasn't even promised a job. Usually a player of his caliber goes into the transfer portal. You probably would think he goes to a school where the coach says, you are 100% our guy. He did not get that guarantee. Battled with Sam Horn. Both of those guys were kind of 1A and 1B, and then Horn goes down first play of the season, and Pribula has come in and been outstanding.
That's a good point, but you have to imagine, Jay, with the fact that he had to battle those 3 years at Penn State, he comes here and has to battle again. It's not foreign to him. He knows what that feels like and how much work he's got to put in, and he went ahead and, of course, Horn with the injury, but I think after that happened, Pribula has really excelled.
And obviously, next Saturday is probably the big test, right? Kansas was a good test, but number 11 South Carolina coming to town. College game day could be in town. That'll be the first real look where those big bright lights are on Pribula for this Mizzou offense. If they can run the ball as effectively as they did today, I don't know if there's any defense that can stop them.
Another pretty special run. He's wrapped up by about 4 guys there. And then the balance, putting his hand down, trudging forward.
That's Brendan Haygood. And with that run, Mizzou is up over 400 rushing yards today. Wow. They've been driving it right down this Louisiana defense. Nothing the Ragin' Cajuns can do to stop this ground attack. Haygood trying to pay it off. Couldn't spin out of that tackle. Caleb Cabote wrapped him up. A 2nd and goal. 16th play upcoming on what has been a long Mizzou drive. 14 rushes, only 1 pass attempt on this drive. They keep it on the ground with Haygood. He stopped short of the end zone. This drive started with 2 minutes and 45 seconds in the 3rd quarter. 17th play upcoming, 3rd and goal. All the backups out there for Mizzou trying to find the end zone on what has been just an outstanding day for this Tigers offense.
I think Coach Drinkwitz wants to get this game in the bag and get showered up and watch that South Carolina game. I think that's what's at play here.
We'll all be watching that one later tonight on SEC Network. Davis untouched. Caps off a 17-play drive for a Mizzou touchdown. They take more than 10 minutes off the clock. Impressive.
Yeah, I mean, where you can get your 3rd running back in the game who is a freshman and give him this kind of work and this amount of carries, it's just the sooner that he's going to be able to take over and Roberts and Hardy eventually leave the program.
Only 7 minutes remaining in this one. Mizzou has left no doubt. They put 52 up on the board.
Welcome back. It is 52-10 Mizzou on a 95-degree day today in Columbia. A hot one, but players say not as hot as their trip to Jamaica earlier this year. The team took 60 players and staff down to Harmon's, Jamaica with an organization called 1 by 1 Jamaica, but this was no Jamaican vacation. This was hard work. They were doing manual construction on homes and a health clinic. This was eye-opening for these players and perspective shifting. They tell us almost half the players had to get a passport for the first time to go on this trip. But on the final night, they went around the room for everybody to share their experiences, and every single player spoke about how happy they were that they went on this trip.
Yeah, and great job, Tori, telling that story. And you know, dealing with the heat over there and all the things they had to do, it makes you certainly appreciate the things that you have over here in America.
Keegan Trost, big number 79 there, the starting right tackle. Eli Drinkwood said he was skeptical on leaving the country, going to Jamaica. Said, you know, we worked so hard, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make the trip. He goes, you're going. And then the night before they left, he stood up in front of the whole team and said it was the best experience of his entire life, and he was so thankful that they got the opportunity. Amazing trip that Mizzou took, and also the results. Eli Drinkwood said his team built a house, renovated a health clinic, all in 5 days.
Yeah, and those are memories those guys will have forever. Team bonding over there, getting that thing done.
In that heat, like Tori mentioned, it challenged you physically, mentally, and you never know when an experience off the football field can translate on the football field.
Yeah.
And they certainly looked like they were prepared for the heat today.
It's just a completely different set of circumstances you're working with. Can't drink the water, you know, there's dealing with the heat, dealing with you know, small beds for these big guys. Remember Coach telling us about that? You got these 300-pound linemen in these little tiny bunk beds.
Yeah,
all part of experience.
You can't put the D lineman on the top bunk.
No.
I'm thinking about like Chris McClellan at 6'4", 323. Just 6 minutes remaining until Missouri can finish this one off, improve to 3-0, and then everybody can start the speculation if game day is coming to town for South Carolina a week from today. Louisiana picks up the first down there. It's interesting for the Raging Cajuns, a team that has won 10 games, 4 of the last 6 years. Played for a Sun Belt championship a year ago. You know, look, how you play in non-conference play doesn't matter all that much, because ultimately you're playing to try and win your conference, and that's still in front of them in the Sun Belt.
Yeah, no, it certainly is. And I still think this is going to be a team that's going to vie and deep down late in that season and possibly get to that championship game. I just think this game is less of an indictment on Louisiana and more just how good Missouri is.
Yeah, I agree with you. Just a statement made. What has impressed you most about the way the Tigers played today?
I mean, how can you say anything other than the run game and the offensive line? I mean, the holes they were creating were just incredible. But then you get the backs that you just get those backs past the front line and then let them do the work. And both Roberts and Hardy, once they hit that second and third level, made guys miss, ran away from people.
Holding, number 64 on the offense. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay, second down.
Yeah, and for as well as the offensive line played, I thought, you know, the front seven for Mizzou, Josiah Trotter, and that defensive line, Damon Wilson, no, they couldn't have played any better. Really set the tone on the line of scrimmage, both sides of the ball. You know, we talk to coaches each week all over the country, and you know, at some point in the conversation is we got to dominate the line of scrimmage. Well, Mizzou did that today. 8 tackles for loss on 34 plays for Mizzou defensively.
And I think it was especially good for Eli Drinkwitz. You know, I think you can make the argument coming out of the Kansas game as well as they played. The offensive line needed to do some things to improve a little bit, and get better and reach their potential, and I think they came out and showed that today.
And we might go the entire fall without a rushing performance as impressive as Ahmad Hardy. 250 yards, 3 touchdowns. That leads all of college football, and someone will try and chase him down. He might try and beat his own record, but that'll be a tough one to top.
You just gotta love the story. You know, last year, well, you know, previous in high school, he's kind of in a remote part of Mississippi, and you know, he has some shoulder injuries, so there's some questions about, okay, can he be a guy to come play at a high level in college? And he winds up going to UL Monroe, and I mean, you know, we talked to Bryant Vincent last year before we had a ULM game, and he said this kid was the real deal. And now he's just continued that here at Mizzou.
We step aside, 2:38 to go in this one. You're watching the SEC on ESPN. This one, all Missouri. The Tigers scored their first 4 drives. All resulted in touchdowns, a 28-0 lead. They did not look back, 52-10.
Number 11 is wearing number 98 for Missouri.
Mizzou offensively, this is the 3rd time in school history that in their first 3 games to start a season, they've gone over 40 points in each of them. 2008 and 2018. Just a matter of running the clock out and then getting ready for South Carolina a week from today. That's the Battle of Columbia. You got Columbia, South Carolina, Columbia, Missouri. And all South Carolina fans are going to get to know Ahmad Hardy. They're going to look at the Missouri box score today and go, whoa, 250 rushing yards, 3 touchdowns. We got to keep an eye on number 29. But if you load up on the run too much, Prabula is going to make you pay.
And that's the key to a dangerous offense. Just whatever you do to counter us, we're going to make you wrong. You stack the box, we'll throw it. You keep guys back to stop the pass game, we're just going to keep pounding it.
This is the third string quarterback, Brett Brown, into the game. Now, Brett Brown started this season thinking, I'm going to be a great practice player, scout team player, but there's no way I'm going to see the field because we got Perbula, Horn, even the freshman Zollers. But you get up 52-10, you get an opportunity.
It's good.
We take this down to the 2-minute timeout.
2-minute timeout.
Have to step away one final time. We'll be right back to wrap it up in Columbia. Finishing things here in Columbia, all Missouri from the beginning, showing why they were put into the top 25 this week. College football season, Rocky, you played for Notre Dame. It can snowball in two directions. You could get the momentum going and your season takes off, or you can stumble and it can snowball the other way. For Missouri, outside looking in to start this season, you get a huge performance offensively, first game of the year. Then you come from behind win. You go down 21-6 to beat your rival, Kansas. And now you put up 52 against a good Louisiana team that won 10 games a year ago in the Sun Belt.
And by all accounts, you're very healthy, which is always important. So I don't think if you're Eli Drinkwitz, you could wish for anything more at this point. You are primed to kick off the SEC season starting next week against South Carolina. Now the flip side for Louisiana, they got to find a way to just get this game out of their mind.
Flush it.
I really believe this is a team that's going to vie in the Sun, but I don't think they played their best. I think a lot of it had to do with just how powerful Missouri was. I think they can still put together a nice season.
And with that run by Davis, it's the first time in school history with back-to-back games with two rushers going over 100 yards. Hardy and Roberts did it last week. Hardy and Davis do it today. And they're over 600 total yards on the day. First time they've gone over 600 since 2021. And simply put, they left no doubt. First 4 drives of the game, 4 touchdowns, and they blew the Raging Cajuns off the ball. Eli Drinkwitz in Mizzou improved to 3-0 with a dominant 52-10 win.
Just how you draw it up here for Eli Drinkwitz. Great win last week. You build on that, even more dominant this week, and you head into a big game against South Carolina next week. I think he's got to be really proud of how his team played in all facets, especially the trenches. Offensive line, defensive line, controlled the game from the very start. The running backs, Ahmad Hardy, over 250 rush yards, was incredible. Pass game was great with Perbula. It all lined up for him.
A strong start to the season continues for the Tigers. Ahmad Hardy's 250 rushing yards, 3 touchdowns, and let's hear from the star quarterback, Bo Perbula, down with Torrey.
Bo, what a dominant day for your offense. What was clicking for you guys offensively today?
I think the run game. The offensive line did a really good job getting push up front, setting the tone early in the run game. The running backs did very well too, so that was good.
3 touchdowns for yourself as well. How would you assess how your play played out today?
Yeah, it was pretty good. There's definitely things we can improve, a turnover, but, win's a win. But, we got to get in the film room and improve for next week.
Your coach said the goal today was to have the discipline to dominate for 4 quarters. How close do you think you guys were to that?
I think they did a great job, especially in the heat. That's props to our strength staff for getting us ready for games like this and weather like this. To outlast them and play hard for 4 quarters.
Well, I can tell everybody how hot it was down here, but let's hear it from you. How much did the heat affect you guys here today?
It was pretty hot. That's all. I'll keep it at that.
I can agree. It absolutely was very hot. And we'll be talking with Ahmad Hardy here in a second. But what can you say about the day that he had 250 rushing yards? How much does it help you to have a guy like that?
Anytime you can have a strong run game, it just, helps everything out. And Ahmad, he's a great back, great dude. I'm proud of him.
Thank you so much, Bo. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, guys, we're going to see if we can chat with Ahmad Hardy right here. Ahmad, a huge day for you, 250 yards on the ground. What was working for you out there?
Really just the plays we was calling, really the outside zone, stand on my path, so doing what we always do.
What can you say about how much your offensive line helped you today?
I love those guys. They did everything they supposed to do. They helped me with 250. I was telling them every time I got the ball, keep it up, keep doing what you're doing, and we're going to keep scoring.
And then your quarterback, he was very complimentary of you and being able to play with a guy like you in the backfield. What did you think of how your quarterback played today?
Yeah, Bo's a famous guy, so, I like Bo. He do what he do. He's smart. He's a smart guy, good teammate, and he just do what he do.
All right, I got to ask you about one play in particular, the touchdown on this end of the field. You're just bowling guys over. Walk me through what you saw on that play.
Really, like I said, every time I get the ball, I'm thinking touchdown. I was running and I had to put my free hand on the ball. I was just trying to get forward, and then I made the last guy miss, and then I ran into the end zone.
All right, one of the things we love on the broadcast is your touchdown celebrations. How do you decide which one comes after which touchdown?
So my touchdown celebrations, it don't matter. Every touchdown celebration is not the same. Whatever comes to my head, I just do it.
All right, and today we went fishing.
Oh, yeah, fishing. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Ahmad.
Thank you.
Guys, what a dominant day for Missouri today in this heat. A huge 52-10 win. Next up for them is South Carolina, a battle of the Columbias here in Como. From our entire team, thank you so much for joining us.